Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Atlanta Motor Speedway, located 20 miles south of downtown Atlanta in Hampton, Georgia, has come a very long way from its first race, held in 1960 and won by NASCAR legend Fireball Roberts, who also took the pole at 133 miles per hour. Spectators from that day who watched from one small grandstand or on blankets spread out on the adjacent dirt bank wouldn't begin to recognize the facility today, even down to its name. Dubbed Atlanta International Raceway when it first opened, the track struggled financially through the 60s and 70s before finding a degree of stability in the 1980s. Real change came following Bruton Smith's purchase of the facility in 1990, with the transformation of Atlanta International Speedway occurring in 1997, with extensive reconfiguration that switched front and back straightaways and added a double dogleg in the new front straightaway. In the 7 intervening years, new grandstands sprouted almost every year, and a 9-story tower, Terra Place, that houses the track offices and a number of luxury condominiums. Atlanta has been a staple on the NASCAR circuit for decades, and tonight, it's race number 2 of the Beadles Custom Car Carriers Truck Series, and it's next on Track Limits Network. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway for race number 2 of the Beadles Custom Car Carriers Truck Series. Race 2, Season 18, if you'll believe that. These guys know how to get it done, and they continue to do so here. Race number 2 again. Race details tonight, 130 laps, 75-degree air temperature, 68% humidity, partly cloudy skies, a 4-mile-per-hour breeze. Track temp relatively cool considering the nighttime schedule for tonight's race. Drivers with a 75% fuel load on board, 3 tire sets available over the wall, no fast repairs to speak of, and 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish. Practice just about wrapped up here from the Speedway. Let's go down trackside to see where everyone's lined out. Fast time so far, it's the 55 of Tom Barish. Same time is the Albert Anderson machine, 29:37. Again, these are drafting times, so you'll see a little bit slower in qualifying, I would assume. Connor Leach in the 71 sits 11th on the board. Chris Klein in the number 18 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. Klein 5th quick. I want to make mention here, we've been really pushing towards that 1,000 subscriber mark here at Track Limits. We're right on the cusp of that at 999 subscribers. So if you guys are tuned in here, double check, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. And if you're not, please go ahead and click that button. Really want to get that taken care of here tonight. One more follower, one more subscriber, and put us over that 1,000 subscriber mark. Ryan McCann in new colors this week in a red Chevy Silverado. Well, Frank Griffith just giving me the bad news as it's 9:98. Well, it was 9:99 10 minutes ago, so somebody hit the button when they weren't supposed to. They unsubscribed. Every time I talk about this is what happens. You guys got to check first. Thanks for letting us know, Frank. I was so excited. That's going to do it for practice. We'll get right into qualifying here in just a moment. Get the qualifying session set up for 2 laps or 10 minutes, whatever comes first. Looks like Mike Fahey's going to be first to roll. Fahey in the Taco Casa number 19 Ford F-150. Very likely that Mike did this paint scheme himself. Mike, of course, the sole owner of Fahey Race Wraps. Mike Fahey on the clock down into turn number 1. Chris Goins in the chat, filling us in. I'm showing 1,000 subscribers. Good to see you, man. Awesome. Good to hear it. Mark the date and time, February 25th. 2011 hours. We hit 1,000. That's 8 p.m. Eastern time, in case you guys don't know. Mike Fahey, 31.677, first lap for the number 19. Jesse Redding second quick with a 31.69. Then it's Ken Couch, Wilkie, and Blaze the top 5. Vincent Short rounding out the top 6 drivers to have completed the time. We'll see if lap 2's faster for Mike here. Cuts the dog leg here. You can do that in qualifying. Don't attempt it in the race. You'll get a no-no flag. 6:04, a little improvement for Fahey. Sits top of the board. Now Crystal Villano in the number 07 Chevrolet. 31.823 first lap. Crystal's 7th for now. We'll see if she can pick it up here. She crosses the line. Keeps it above the red line. 31.630 pickup. Puts her 6th quick. Justin Lawson, 32.16 first lap around. Possibly a throwaway lap. Just trying to build some heat into the tires. Austin jumps down below the red line here in the dogleg as well. Does it gain him anything? It does. 9th quick with a 6:09. Meanwhile, Double O Joe is the top time at 31.54 for Joe Bennett. Eric Beadle just finishing up, 31.607. 119 sits 9th for the time being. Albert Anderson quick in practice earlier as well. Second fast to be exact, but matched that fast time. Meanwhile, Aikman Pollard goes pole. 31.53. Anderson crosses the line, and he goes pole. 31.524 for the 99. Fast lap for the 99 machine. Beats Pollard by 1/100th of a second, and it's just 2 100ths back to 3rd, 4 100ths back to 4th and 5th. Talk about close times here in qualifying as Milner goes a 6:09, 13th quick. Checking the stream chat again. Chris Fahey says, Mike had to do neon paint so his mother can find him on the track. Just look for the tire smoke, Chris. You'll find him. Welch goes pole, 31.495. A big-time lap for the one of DW. Larry Dickerson now, a 31.72 first lap for the 69. Larry Land. Seventh quick, 31.569 for Larry Dickerson. Caleb Sisk goes third quick, 31.533. A new paint scheme on that machine this week, looking sharp. Justin Johnson in the 10X Toyota Tundra. 32.22, 26 quick first lap for Justin. We'll see if he picks it up. I would anticipate he will. Crosses start finish. 18.31, 6.09. Chris Goins out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Some new colors on that machine this week. The Waterman Fish Bar. Got Crystal Villano in the chat. Congrats on the 1,000 subscribers. Definitely well deserved. Crystal, thanks for that. Gonesy goes 31.778. Lap 1, 27th quick. About 4.5 minutes left in the session. Still a lot of drivers to make a lap here. Goins across the line, 26. Not a huge pickup there. 31.644, now 27th. Gonna watch Brian McCann here. This is the number 7 machine. Brian comes over from the iRock Challenge Series. He's got a ton of experience here on the iRacing service. He's doing this a long time and hasn't really lifted off the throttle at all as it comes to that. He's in the sim at least 3 nights a week, if not more. 30th quick the first lap, and 6th quick on the second lap. 31.538 for Brian McCann. Skylar Harrod now 31st on his opening lap, 32.011. Looking for a pickup here. '17, 31.599. Jason Steptoe in the number 50 machine. 31.903, 32nd. Working the backstretch now into turn 3 here on lap number 2. Steptoe with the Wendell Scott Foundation on board this week. Jason across the line, 30th, 31.654. Now out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Chuck Kiger in the number 22. First lap at 31.829 for the number 22. Kiger up the racetrack just a bit. Currently, Derek Welch still the top time. Fast time, 31.49 for DW. Outside pole, just a 100th slower. It's the 71 Connor Leach. And there's 6 100ths of a second separating 1st to 10th. There's a 10th of a second separating 1st to 20th. It's unbelievable. Kiger goes 31.655. Now the 333 is Sean Roberts. 35th on his first lap. Can he pick it up here? Just almost clips the grass here in the dog leg. 26 with a 61. Jarrett Woodard now, the number 79 Chevrolet. About a minute and 10 seconds left in the session, and we'll call it complete. Want to expand a bit here. Only a 10th of a second now, almost all the way through the field. Less than 2/10 from 1st to 35th. Woodard first lap, 93. I don't think anybody's run lap 2 slower than their first, unless they made a mistake. So we'll see if Woodard can pick it up here at the end of this lap. Again, 45 seconds left in this session. Still about 8 drivers that haven't taken a time just yet. That's okay. .31.637 for Jarrett Woodard to finish up his lap. Qualifying will be over in about 20 seconds. Tom Barish, Paul Durkee, Ryan Kemper, Rick LePage, Eddie Rose, Ben McKinnon, Tommy Welch, Mark Truxell opting not to take a time. They will start in the back in order of their I rating. And Tristan Sykes has arrived. I'm just here to watch Fahey wreck. Look back through that chat, Tristan. Chris Fahey mentioning that Mike has that truck painted awful neon so she can find him real easy. I just suggested to look for the tire smoke. So qualifying in the book, so it's time. Let's take a look at our starting grid on the pole position. With a lap time of 31.495 seconds, it's the number 1 machine of Derek Welch. Outside, front row from Sisk Speed Shop. Missed it by just 13 one-thousandths of a second. It's a 71 of Connor Leach. Row 2, it's Albert Anderson and Josh Sisk. Row 3, it's Aikman Pollard and Brian McCann. Row number 4, it's Paul Ferdiani and Double O Joe Bennett. Starting in row 5, it's the 15 Track Bar Motorsports entry of Vincent Short, flanked by the 30 from Lone Star Racing, it's Drew Blaze. Starting in the 11th position, it's the 69 of Larry Dickerson and the 18 of Chris Klein. Starting 13th, it's PJ Cox. 14th goes to Carson Rowland. 15th starter, it's Russ Endicott. Ryan Pasoko will start 16th. Skylar Herod, 17th. And Mike Fahey in the number 19 will roll from the 18th position. Jonathan Marsh, 19th. 20th goes to Eric Beadle. 21st, Scott Milner. Justin Johnson, 22nd. 23rd, Justin Lawson. 24th, Brandon Coleman. 25th starter, it's Mike Corvu. Sean Roberts, 26th. Crystal Volano in the 07 starts 27th. Mark Collins, 28th. Jesse Redding, 29th. 30th position goes to Jarrett Woodard. 31st, Dylan Bryant. Chris Goins, 32nd. Jason Steptoe will roll from the 33rd spot with Chuck Kiger starting 34th. 35th, it's John Luke Wilkie. 36th, Ken Couch. Tommy Welch will start 37th. 38th, Mark Truxell. 39th, Eddie Rose. Ryan Kemper, 40th. Paul Durkee, 41st. Rick LePage, 42nd. Tom Barish, 43rd. And last but not least, in the 44th position, the 12 of Ben McKinnon. It's a big field, folks. Field rolls away from pit lane as we get ready to go green. We'll be green the next time by. And the race details again, 130 laps the race distance, 73-degree air temp, 72% humidity, partly cloudy skies, 3-mile-per-hour breeze. Track temp has come down a couple, as has the air temperature, to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Drivers working with a 75% fuel load, 3 sets of tires over the wall, no fast repairs, and if we need them, which, well, we might, here at this track, 3 green-white checkered attempts on the table.
Not going.
And they're going to wave off the start here. Trying to get everybody lined out where they need to be, doubled up. No disadvantage for everyone, especially on this opening lap. Big field, sometimes it's difficult to get these guys lined out where they need to be. So we're going to go an extra lap. Usually these bigger tracks, we only get 1 pace lap. Typically short tracks, it's going to be 2. Tristan Sykes in the chat again says Fahey's truck is neon so the wrecker can find it. And we got, let's see, Elise Zoller, hopefully I'm saying that right, here for Goins, hoping to be good luck. Elise, I believe that is the proper pronunciation. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure Chris may later. Either way, glad you're here. Certainly do appreciate everybody. And again, if you're just joining us, cracking 1,000 subscribers here tonight. Appreciate you guys helping us out, getting to that number. Certainly took some time. We've been at this for a few years. So it appears that Derek Welch is dropping to the rear, or at least close to it. He started from pole, but now you see him, he's back in that 37th position. So that's going to move the 33 of Paul Verdiani to the front. Connor Leach will still be to the outside. So we're getting ready for the start of this race. Pace truck about ready to make the left turn down pit road. Barney, the flag man, with the green in hand. Green flag called for, and we are underway from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Lap one in the books. Connor Leach out in front. Teammate Sisk gets to the back bumper for a moment. Paul Verdiani still trying to hang on to the low side of the racetrack with Vincent Short tucked up to the tailgate of the 33 off of turn number 2. Super Speedway style racing, drafting track here on the mile and a half at Atlanta. Side-by-side action. You're going to see it all night long. It's 2x2 for now. Will they push it to 3 wide at any point? Lord, I hope not, but we're going to wait and find out. At the stripe, the 33 of Verdiani is going to lead that lap. Connor Leach going to battle back to the outside. Caleb Sisk to the back bumper. Top lane still, the blue number 6 machine. Brian McCann rolling up in behind as well. And that red number 7 also in the top side. Then it's the 05 of PJ Cox on the low part of the racetrack. Verdiani doing a good job working that low side of the racetrack here. Has the run out of turn 4 and can just nose out in front at the stripe. It's something to pay close attention to here as this race continues on. See if that pays off here towards the end of this race. Good push from Vincent Short. Vince all over that back bumper down the back straightaway to turn number 3. Short usually very successful on these drafting style racetracks where it's just hammered down all the way around, but as this race moves on, tires will play a part. They're going to wear out. You're going to start to lose the nose. The truck's going to get a little bit tight on the corner entry, sometimes even on exit, depending on the aero and dirty air. Going to be in this mix as well. Verdiani still with the lead off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Vincent Short pushing with all he's got. A little early for that. I think Short maybe a little bit over exuberant here, but keep a close eye. It's certainly helping the 33 Verdiani maintain that race lead. Switching around up here at the front of the field, Verdiani loses the lead. Connor Leach and Caleb Sisk now 1 and 2 as they work out of turn number 2. On board with Connor Leach, looking back at the rest of this 44 truck field. Brian McCann working to the outside now, challenging for the race lead, but Leach on the bottom side of the racetrack has the advantage so far in these opening 8 laps of this race. It seems that the bottom lane is where you want to be. Top 10 still double file. One truck in the wall. It's the 50. Jason Steptoe gets a piece of the wall in the dog leg. Still trying to drive the truck. Certainly might have some damage here. Still chasing the truck up the racetrack. Steptoe was in the top 10 there for a moment, but got the wall. Now he's slipped all the way back now to the 21st, now 22nd spot. Looks like he may be coming to pit lane. Steptoe in trouble here early, 9 laps in. We still no caution. Steptoe might be limping this truck back to pit lane, or is he? No, he's still on the gas. A little off the pace, quite a bit actually. Steptoe has fallen out of 41st. We have one truck still in pit lane. It's Aikman Pollard, made 3 laps. In fact, we'll go back to lap 3. I guess he had a problem on the racetrack that we did not see. So here it is early on, lap 3, 25 Aikman Pollard. Oh, Tom Barish went up the track, had a problem, got into the 25, sent Pollard up into the outside wall. We did not get a caution. That's what likely is going to end the night for Pollard. And Steptoe's going to come to pit here. Car off the pace. Truck, that is. Still the battle for the lead between Brian McCann and Connor Leach. They're side by side. Top 15 trucks now all side by side. Let me get a call to Chris Goins here, up into the 15th spot. He started in the 32nd position. He's passed 17 trucks in the first 12 laps. Chris Goins on rails here at Atlanta. The unfortunate part to this is Chris Goins is kind of in the hornet's nest right now. Let's go on board, see what Chris is seeing out the windshield of that number 4 machine. This is the driver's eye camera built into the helmet of each driver. It's very small, relatively lightweight. They don't notice it in the slightest, but this is about as close of an indication of what you're going to see if you're the one behind the wheel. What you see is what he sees and vice versa. Goins now to the back bumper of the 11 of Brandon Coleman. Eric Beadle also moving his way up. He's up 10 spots into the 10th position.
Caution.
And a caution is out.
Do you need anything to drink or anything like that?
Not sure what has triggered this. Looks like we got Ryan Kemper, Dylan Bryant slow here at start-finish. Well, let's see if we can get a look at it. First caution of the night. The 22 gets into the 24, Rick LePage. Chain reaction after that. The 14 goes down the racetrack. Dylan Bryant's going to make some contact. Kemper's going to slide through the grass, still trying to save the truck. So Kiger gets into the 24 of LePage. Kemper gets a piece. Eddie Rose sneaks right through. I want to watch that from Eddie's perspective here. We'll back it up a little bit. Full speed here for Eddie Rose. Nicely done. So pit stops underway here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Caleb Sisk in pit lane. Brian McCann stayed out on the racetrack. One thing I want to make mention here with the 7 to McCann, he's the only driver to stay out on the track. Well, no, it looks like Albert Anderson did as well, so Anderson's going to restart second. But that's one thing about Brian McCann, is he's good with pace to begin with. He can certainly get around these racetracks and he can beat you with raw talent, but another trick in his bag is pit strategy. Like I said, he does this a lot. He's got many years of experience on the service. He's running these trucks and cars in multiple different leagues throughout the course of the week, 3 or 4 at least. Going to keep a close eye on the 7 throughout the course of this season. It's going to be hard to guard. Many seasons we've watched Brian McCann and Zach Millett, if you remember that name, battle it out, trading blows back and forth every week. Field works through turn number 2 to the back straightaway. The pace truck lights have gone off, so next time by we'll get the restart at lap 20. Brian McCann, Albert Anderson will lead the field to green. Again, those are the 2 trucks that stayed out on the racetrack. McCann, I don't think he was doing it to gain track position, just maybe didn't see the need to make that pit stop just yet. Albert Anderson maybe trying to pick up some spots, but he qualified 3rd, so we'll see how that strategy works out. We know tires will eventually come into play here at Atlanta, but this is a reasonably new scan of Atlanta. This isn't a real recent. This is more to the completion of that fresh pavement. So what you've seen in real life, not going to be super indicative of what we see here tonight, but tires still could come into play. Pace trucks in pit lane. Barney with the green in hand. We approach the restart zone. There it is. Green flag in the air. We're back racing from Atlanta. Big-time jump for Brian McCann was right on the money. Gets out in front maybe a little bit too far as the draft likely to reel him back in a hurry. Did not take long. McCann dropping back just a bit, 3rd or 4th position as they get on turn 4. Back to start finish now. Connor Leach, your new race leader, with Caleb Sisk to the back bumper. Not a surprise there. 1, 2, 3. It's Leach, Sisk, and McCann. Anderson now 4th. 5th place, 00 Joe Bennett as they now switch spots. Anderson in that 5th position. Caleb Sisk just pushing the 71 that is, of Connor Leach. Contact, they're holding right to the bumper there through the dog leg and into turn number 1. That's where that big advantage comes from. Tandem style drafting with these 2. They're teammates. They're both very talented. They can definitely get away with that, but you do need to be careful. Albert Anderson with a bit of a run on the outside with the 90 of Roland in tow. 20 of Justin Lawson, 3 truck, now 4 as Fahey gets up there, now 5. Skylar Herod tucks in behind, so a 5 truck draft topside. See if they can get tightened up here and see what they can do. Meanwhile, Connor Leach continues to lead. Sisk steps out of line just a bit, likely just putting some air into the radiator, that number 6. On board with Albert Anderson as he's doing battle now with the 7 of Ryan McCann. Pretty much double file from the top 12 forward. 11th and 12th right here. 13th really. Sean Roberts to the outside, the 333 with the 3 of Skylar Herod on the bottom. Brandon Coleman in 14th in behind, then Eric Beadle rounding out the top 15. Beadle's got PJ Cox pressuring on the bottom side. Drew Blaze in the number 30. Another driver that we've covered quite a bit over the course of the last couple of years here at Track Limit / HBR TV, alongside Justin Johnson. Just biding his time here, taking care of his equipment right now. Drew Blaze, though, another driver that's traded paint with Zach Millett over the years and come out on top many a time. Keep a close eye on that 30 truck throughout the course of this season. Truck stepping out of line, looks like the 2 of Scott Milner. Miller didn't like what he was seeing. Try and relax here and go to the back just a bit. Sorry, that's the 2 of Ryan Pasoko, not Ryan Milner. Milner's in the 31. Back out front, the top 2 unchanged. It's Connor Leach and Caleb Sisk. Albert Anderson, Brian McCann, and Carson Rowland.
Caution.
And the caution is out.
All right, need to tell you about your car, bud.
Trying to catch. Big issue here out of turn 4. Oh, driver still coming into this. Tom Barish very late. Just going to go back to that quickly here. Caution is out right now. Barish is on the back stretch. Yes. This is in turn 3. Rex in the dog leg, and Barish is still on the throttle here. Eric Beadle, Jesse Redding. So we'll back this up a little bit further here to see what tricked this off here. Looks like maybe some contact, definitely some contact. So the 18 of Chris Klein's going to drive up and just give a big time. That's a huge push, especially in the middle of the corner. It caved the back bumper into the 119. Beadle was trying to save it. Saving it. Then it's going to catch and go up the racetrack. And everybody's going to pile in behind. Some monster hits. So that's shaking up the running order yet again here at Atlanta. Now Mike Fahey is your race leader. Skylar Herod, Mike Corvu, Chris Klein, who was actually involved in that incident, and Mark Collins will be the top 5. Klein's going to likely pit here. Indeed, he is. And Chris got some damage on that machine. He's going to want to straighten some of that sheet metal out for sure. So Mike Fahey and Skylar Herod going to control this field to the restart. Going to be Mark Collins, Mike Corvu, Ben McKinnon, Russ Endicott, your top 6, first 3 rows. Drivers involved in that incident at a minimum: Jonathan Marsh, Tommy Welch, Jesse Redding, Chris Klein, Eric Beadles, Scott Milner, Tom Barish. Kristen Sykes in the chat. Excuse me, who is leading? Yeah, it's this guy. Mike Fahey in the Taco Casa number 19. Albert Anderson shown his 13th. I don't know if he's going to get dinged here on the restart, or is he going to come to pit lane? He is.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air. Late restart for Fahey. Herod on the gas. He's going to beat the leader back big time. I don't know if Fahey missed his shift or if this Herod timed it perfect. Herod, Fahey, Corvu down the back straightaway here. This is your top 3 with Herod leading now into the 3rd turn. Double O Joe looking around the 23 of Mark Collins for the 4th spot. Nowhere to go, no help to get it done. Remains topside. The 57 slips up the track just a tiny bit. Vincent Short now in the 8th spot. Brian McCann after the pit stop. He's going to work his way around into now the 7th position into turn number 3 onto the back bumper of Joe Bennett. Big time run on the high side. They're making hay big time. Eric Beadle out of this one. 2 weeks in a row. And just like that, Brian McCann pushing Joe Bennett to the race lead. Where did these guys come from? Just a few laps since the restart, and they're chasing down the leader. In fact, they're racing for the lead. Double O Joe with the lead for the time being on the top side. We'll see if Skylar Herod can make the low lane work like a lot of drivers have been able to do in the early runnings of this race. One truck out of line, dumps to the inside, going to go to the tail. That's the 23 of Collins. I don't know if Collins has a problem. He's way off the pace. Out front, Bennett still leads, maintaining that spot ahead of the 3 of Skylar Herod. That low lane just doesn't have the numbers right now. They're really not all that organized. You got to get bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper all the way back. You're going to have better luck if So you get nice and tight with a guy in front of you. You just can't push too hard, especially if that driver's already pushing another truck. But you see, big time push from Fahey sends the 3 of Herod to the point. Coming through the dog leg, I think Herod's going to lead this lap, and he does, but not by much as Bennett noses back in front of the 3, down into turn 1 and 2. Brian McCann pushing the 00 body armor forward. Checking out Derek Welch again, put the truck on pole here tonight, but did not start there, opted to go to the back. Could have been a penalty. I got to go back and double check on that, but Welch now working his way back through up into the top 15. Switches lanes, tucks in behind. It looks like the 12 of Ben McKinnon. Laps on the tower. Bennett still leads. Skylar Herod, Brian McCann, Mike Fahey and Vincent Short, the top 5. Albert Anderson back out into the mix. Fortunately for the number 99 of Anderson, he is multiple laps down now, just 1 lap down at this point. On board with 00 Joe. Hi, Joe. So you watch from the blimp, you see the 00 Joe Bennett, the rear end of that truck starting to dance around a little bit. 2 trucks in behind, Brian McCann and Vincent Short. They're doing it right. Staying awful close, but Joe doesn't like the push and closes the door on Skylar Herod. But now Herod right to the back bumper, pulls some air off the rear spoiler of that truck. Loosens up Bennett, but Bennett hangs on to the top spot. But this does now open up some clean air for the 7 of Brian McCann. Now Vincent Short tucks up to the back bumper. Here comes Drew Blaze as well. Another contender. Keep a close eye on that number 30 truck. He's going to be in this mix as long as he keeps all the fenders on it. Fun update here from, let's see, Posoko. I think I'm saying it right. I apologize if I'm screwing that up still. But Ryan Posoko in the 2. I guess he's a 6-time champion at Stafford Speedway down in Virginia. Just not sure what kind of car are they running. Is it a limited late model or what? Either way, it's impressive. There's Ryan in that 2 truck. Ryan running in behind Connor Leach. Leach back in 21st now. But remember, was dominant in leading this race. Now a change for the lead again as Bennett slips into the clutches of Vincent Short and Brian McCann. 15 to the point out of turn number 2. Now we'll see if Brian McCann with Drew Blaze on the back bumper can push the 7 to the lead. McCann now inches out in front, maintains the top side. I don't know if he's going to switch lanes or stay where he is at. Right now it seems that up top is the place to be, but Drew Blaze steps on a line for just a moment there. Thought he was going to go to the inside and make it 3 wide for a moment, but Blaze thinks better of it. Caleb Sisk in the 6 now, slips up in the middle. Now we're 3 wide in the second row, down the back straightaway. Blaze to the outside, Sisk in the middle, Joe Bennett on the bottom. I've been corrected in the chat. Stafford, Connecticut. I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I know a little bit. Isn't that like the home track of Ryan Preece? I think that's the case. I should know. I like modifieds. I'm up in New York. Back to the action. Out front, still side by side. Short and McCann battling it out. At least they straightened out that 3 wide stuff. That got a little scary for a minute, but if anybody could get it done, it was those 3. Now it's Short and McCann, side by side. Sisk, oh, a little loose for Short in the middle of the corner to make contact. McCann up the racetrack. Now we got a big time wreck. McCann straightens it out. We're still wrecking it behind it. Oh, no, McCann still gets caught up in this. Mark Truxell is in it. Sean Roberts is in it. We've got a lot of trucks. Eddie Rose back here in 28. He's going to come around and have to check up. It's going to be a big mess on the backstretch. Driver still leaving the scene. I don't know if someone got a little overzealous or what, but we're going to try and get a look at this. See, the wreck's already happening here. Let's back it up. It started, it looked like, with McCann and Vincent Short. Trying to get the best angle on it. This might be the best way to look. See, Short's a little bit off center from the low lane. He's 1 truck higher than everybody else. McCann pulls down the racetrack and they do make contact, but I don't know if Short missed his entry or just didn't turn down in time. I can't imagine that's an intentional move in this early stage of the race. That is awful aggressive to keep the driver on the outside from turning in. I would maybe think that's a couple of laps to go type thing, but I'm thinking Vince might have just missed his entry. Then everything goes to hell in a handbasket behind him. Truxell, Herod, McCann gets clipped again here. I think that's by the 11. Brandon Coleman. Chris Goins is in it. Multiple trucks involved here. 52 laps in. I don't know if Drew Blaze got a piece of this or not. Let's roll back here and see. Looks like Drew got through this without issue. Try it one more time here. Yeah, it was all behind him. Frank Griffith, that was quite the kerfuffle. I don't know why, but I love that word. All right, 53 laps in here from Atlanta, working caution number 3. Front row is going to be Caleb Sisk and Paul Ferdiani. I know Caleb likes to go by Josh here, so we're going to try and get that fixed here in our timing tower. Not so much the tower, because you don't see first names there, but I'll stop calling him Caleb. Not that it's any easier for me. Josh Sisk in the 6. Puts rubber baby buggy bumpers to shame. So your front row is going to be Sisk and Ferdiani, then Short and Bennett. Welch, Leach, Fahey, Corvu, Redding, and Blaze. That's the top 10. Get ready for the restart. Pace truck lights are out. Makes the hard left to head to pit lane.
Green flag.
There it is. Green flag in the air. Sisk on throttle. He's going to be way too far out in front here. These guys are going to run him down. We saw Brian McCann do this, and he got chewed up. But maybe not. The lines are not very organized in behind them, though. Vincent Short has closed the gap, switches lanes, goes to the outside in front of Ferdiani. So it's the 15, the 33, and the 00 in the 71 topside. 97 of Mike Corvu into the picture as well. 5-truck draft on a high lane. Ferdiani steps out of line. I don't know if he lost the truck just a bit, but he was outside for a moment. Now Vincent Short leads him down into turn number 1. Slips up the racetrack as well. We're starting to see these tires go away on these trucks. Going to lose the nose a little bit. Clean air is going to be more and more important as this race moves on. 3 wide in behind. Vincent Short trying to save the truck in front of Joe Bennett. How they didn't wreck the whole field again, I'll never know. Great save by Vincent Short in front of 00 Joe. Joe cut him some slack too. Good job by the 00. So back out front. Josh Sisk with the race lead in the number 6 machine. Derek Welch now knocking on the back door. Stepping out of line, Mike Fahey goes up the racetrack. Connor Leach switches lanes, goes to the bottom for 3rd. Back to start finish. 1 truck out shape. My goodness, Derek Welch giving everybody a heart attack out here. Now Mike Fahey leads the top lane in front of Ferdiani. We're not even halfway, folks, and business has picked up like there's 5 to go. Sisk just racing the racetrack while everybody else behind him loses their minds. DW in tow, so is Connor Leach. Looks like the 21 of Jesse Redding back in this mix. Remember, he was in an incident, a pretty significant crash early on, but apparently all 4 corners on that truck were repairable. Doesn't look as straight as it was, but pretty close. Now Mike Fahey back to the point into turn number 1. Man, these guys are slipping and sliding all over this racetrack. Big push from Ferdiani off center on Mike Fahey into turn number 3. Oh, more door slamming here. The 33 to Derek Welch slides up in front of Vincent Short, and they continue on still. It's like these guys are trying to cause a crash. Just looking for a place to have one. Sisk still out in front of DW and Mike Fahey, then Connor Leach and Ferdiani. Short is there, Redding is there, Corvu, Drew Blaze, and here comes Ryan Pasoko. Rounding out the top 10. Sisk still leads. Again, that's the benefit that the leader has here. He's got all that clean air pushing on the nose of the truck. Anybody in behind has got to deal with that dirty air, a little bit less front downforce. Obviously, as the tires wear, you're going to start to lose the nose even more. So the drivers, well, they're doing just that. They are driving these trucks. .63 laps in the books, a couple of laps shy of halfway. Front runners still Sisk and Fahey. Fahey in the neon number 19, top side. On the low side, it's Josh Sisk. Big lift from Pasoko into turn number 1. You saw fire out of the right side of the truck. Leaders back to start finish. 65 laps go up on the board. Josh Sisk still with the race lead. Holding off Derek Welch and Mike Fahey. We've seen both lines be dominant here tonight. First it was the low side, then it was top side, and now it is switched back to the bottom. They just have to do with the numbers and how organized the inside line wants to be. Keep a close eye on it, but we're going to step aside. We're going to take a track limits side-by-side break. You won't miss a thing. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, things really not much different from when we went to break. Sisk still with the lead, Fahey still into the outside. Back to the stripe, low lane still dominant. The 6 continues to lead. Derek Welch in behind of Caleb Sisk. Then it's Connor Leach, Jesse Redding, Double O Joe. Those are the 5 trucks on the low side. Up top, Mike Fahey, Paul Ferdiani, Drew Blaze, Vincent Short, and Mike Corvu. Ferdiani catches the wall into turn number 1, still trying to battle this truck. Maintains his position, but pancake the right side on entry to 1. Another truck in the fence out of turn number 2. It might have been Mike Corvu. 97 losing some ground up the racetrack again. Battling back, here comes Chris Goins in the 10th spot. Goins was involved, I think, in that last crash. Able to get the truck fixed. Big time impact, big time checkup here. Chain reaction. Goins gets into the back of Double O Joe, gets on the brakes, and then the 18 of Chris Klein gets into the back of Goins. Another truck catches the wall out of turn number 2. I think that might be the 12. Ben McKinnon, yes, got into the outside wall off turn number 2. He's having some struggles now. Tires going away on some of these trucks. They're really having a hard time getting them to turn. Back out front, not much has changed, but man, they're still battling. Drew Blaze now to the back bumper of Mike Fahey on the outside lane. Vincent Short, Corvu, 4 trucks on the top side, low side. It's Sisk, Welch, Leach, and Ferdiani. Ferdiani not too close to Connor Leach right now, a couple of truck lengths back. That's going to hurt the bottom side. Gotta wonder here if Fahey can get clear of the 6. Will he pull it hard left to get down in front, take that low lane? You gotta wonder what the right front tire is telling Mike. If you get to the bottom, it might be difficult to keep it there. Right now for the 6 of Joshua Sisk, not having any struggles to maintain that top spot. Doing pretty well. Blaze now pushing the 19 with all he's got through the dog leg. Slow truck down low. It's the 31 of Scott Milner. Going to go to the bottom of the racetrack, let the field get on by. Very difficult to go 3 wide on a slow truck without contact here. It's much narrower here at Atlanta than it used to be prior to this reconfiguration. Taking the banking up from 24 to 28 degrees. Last pit stop's coming around lap 50, 51 in that range. The 75% fuel load, we don't necessarily know what the fuel window is, but we've been green for a while now. We'll have to see how long these guys can go before making another pit stop. Turn number 4. Oh, we got big trouble now. They're all wrecking. They're in the grass. Vincent Short, multiple drivers involved in this. Chris Klein gets through. More contact later. Here is the 50. Gets hit by the 72. Don't need to worry about that green flag stop now. 82 laps in, and the caution is out. Now let's get a look. Already going on here. Let's see. Try to unpack this and see how this really started. All right, so it's looking like Drew Blaze and Fahey here. Welch was all to the back bumper of Sisk. Started to come up the racetrack, lost the nose, and I think that's going to force Fahey up into the wall. Not physically, but Fahey just trying to make sure they don't make contact, so it slowed his momentum. Blaze gets into the back of the 19, tries to go to the inside, but now Fahey's trying to turn down off the racetrack, and he's getting loose. They haven't even made contact yet. Ferdiani on the inside. Vincent Short's going to get collected here. Then the rest is going to be chaos. Lawson in it. Pasoko in it. Jesse Redding. Double O Joe. Chris Gones, little tiny bit of contact. Chris gets through. Of course, the wreck already underway here. Watch it in real time. Well, the only benefit to this is it gets everybody a chance to come down and pit, get some more fuel, fresh tires if they so choose. Looks like just about everybody went with new tires. A lot of fast trucks involved in this. So let's try to re-rack them best we can here. Front row when we get the restart, it's going to be Josh Sisk, Connor Leach, Derek Welch, Chris Gones, PJ Cox, the top five, then Carson Rowland, Russ Endicott, Justin Johnson, Ryan Kemper, Larry Dickerson, that's the top 10. Drew Blaze is going to restart 11th. Curious to see how Drew's truck is going to handle here as we go back to green. We'll take a look the best that we can. Try to get an idea if there's any significant damage. Didn't look too terrible of a wreck. A little bit of right front damage on the 30, though. So Sisk lined up right to the back bumper of that pace truck.
Green.
Sisk fires off. Connor Leach goes with him. They both get out to a pretty good advantage here, like they timed it. Allows Leach to get in behind the 6. Want to watch this to see if the field can reel them back in. They are way out in front. At least 10 truck lengths, and Leach has got to run on the 6. Will he make the move or get the bumper? He gives the bumper. Going to push Josh Sisk into turn 3. See if DW can reel these guys in. PJ Cox to the back bumper of the 1. Justin Johnson, Chris Gones. Close the gap to within 5, now 4, now 3, and closing. Welch depths on a line, looks to the inside, nowhere to go there, got to stay above that red line. Welch, though, got to remember, was very quick in practice. Also, the pole sitter here tonight. Going to be a contender again if you keep the fenders on that truck. We said the same thing about Drew Blaze earlier. Knocked the fenders off his truck, but he's still in it. Big wiggle for Blaze. He slips up the racetrack. Top 4 truck still single file. It's Sisk, Leach, Welch, and PJ Cox. Justin Johnson runs in 5th. Headed up in that second pack. Chris Goins on the tailgate of the 10.
Caution.
And caution is out again.
Forward drive there towards the end of that.
Oh,
little
big time
run we just
trouble.
did.
Chris Klein on his roof. I think it was Chris Klein. Klein driving away from the scene. Caution number 5. Watch it here. Drew Blaze in trouble. I want to back this up further, see how this one started. Did Blaze just lose it on his own? Watch the 30 truck ahead of this pack. Catches the 24 coming up the outside and pulls it hard left, and the truck just snaps loose in front of Crystal Villano. Crystal's going to get into the 30, but slides up the track. Big time hit. Sends Chris Klein into the fence, and this is going to start the barrel roll here. Flips over Jason Steptoe. Joe Bennett in this as well. Chris Klein going for a wild ride here in the dogleg. .40 laps to go here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Working caution number 5. I believe we are getting ready for the restart yet again here. So next time by, 93 laps will go up on the board. And as we've said it so much tonight, it's going to be Sisk and Leach on the front row for the restart. Now, if I'm Derek Welch here, I'm going to try and time this restart the best that I can, because you know the 6 and the 71 are in communication here, and they're going to talk to each other here on this restart when they get ready to fire off. Very similar to the last time you saw Sisk get out to that lead. Leach was able to tuck in behind so we could be the pusher for the 6. Derek Welch wants to try and prevent that. If he can time it and go the same time and prevent the 71 from cutting down, that's going to be best for the 1. Easier said than done.
Green.
And green flag in the air. Sisk on the gas. Looks like a little wheel spin from Connor Leach. Maybe the same from DW, though. Was not able to stay alongside the 71. Justin Johnson now to the back bumper of Derek Welch. BJ Cox tucks in behind. We got Sean Roberts in the chat. Says transmission got messed up sliding through the grass.
Caution, caution.
And before we can do that,
Tell me what you
caution
got.
is out again. Jason Steptoe. And looks like Brandon Coleman. Yes. Well, let's take a look at it. So the 50 of Steptoe gets in the fence here on the backstretch. Brian McCann, they are avoiding something. Looks like something's going on up ahead. Looks like Coleman was involved in this from the beginning. Looks like Steptoe got into it late. Yeah, it's even more compounded here as 00 Joe. Watch the 00. A little bit of a tank slap. Yeah, he's trying to save the truck. And it looks like Collins is going to make a little tiny bit of contact. No, he doesn't, but he pulls down in front of Coleman. Coleman gets to the back bumper of Collins. Then the 08 comes in, right hooks the 11 into the fence, and then the rest is going to be history here. So as we work this caution here, we're going to take a short break and step aside. We'll be back for the restart after this. Stay with us.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Signal I need to cut across 8 lane. None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody
at Atlanta, doubled up, ready for the restart in turns 3 and 4. Lap 97 about to go up on the board.
Green flag.
Green flag back in the air. Sisk and Leach timing it well yet again. Third time in a row. Leach will tuck back in behind the 6. Caution is out again. Trouble turn 4.
You look here, Steph, make sure everything looks okay.
Mark Collins in this as well. And this started up ahead, backing up a little further here. Looks like Mark Collins may have lost it by himself here. Watch the 23, the black and red truck in the top lane. Yeah, truck just steps out. Brian McCann doing his best to not make contact with the 23. Does a good job to not get right hooked himself up the track, but it sends Collins up into the path of Drew Blaze. McCann spins down in front of Short. Maybe some contact there. But under yellow yet again. 7th caution of the night. With that, we'll step aside yet again. Stay with us. We'll be back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back in Atlanta, going to be 30 laps to go when we get the restart here. Still Josh Sisk and Connor Leach on the front row. Row 2 be Derek Welch and Justin Johnson. Then PJ Cox and Chris Goins, Larry Dickerson, Roland, Tommy Welch, Kemper in some various order within the top 10.
Green flag.
And green back in the air. Sisk and Leach timing it well once again.
Caution.
And just like that, caution's out again. 11 to Brandon Coleman. Sits idle here in the dogleg. And that S4 guy jumping in the chat. Happy 1,000, sir. Again, anybody joining us late here, we hit 1,000 subscribers here tonight, just as we went on air. But let's unpack caution number 8 here and see what happened with the 11 to Brandon Coleman. Drivers all checking up here, coming to green. It's just something that shouldn't happen. Yeah, they just get all jacked up here. Guys that were in the back got on the throttle hard, so of course they're coming in a hurry. And all the drivers ahead of them are still at pace car speed. Then they get there and realize, oh no, they haven't fired off yet. So there you have it. Caution number 8 here at Atlanta. With that, we are going to step aside one more time. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom. Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Back at Atlanta, finishing up caution number 8. The front row has consisted of Josh Sisk and Connor Leach for quite some time, the better part of half this race. They've mastered the restarts here, working together, firing off at the same time, building an advantage, allows the 71 of Leach to tuck in behind Josh Sisk on these restarts. We'll see if they can nail it for the 5th time in a row. Pace truck makes that hard left into pit lane. We wait for the green.
flag.
See, that's part of what happened the last time. Sisk checked up the field and everybody accordioned back. I think that's what triggered the caution the last time, but for the 5th time in a row, Sisk and Leach get filed out single file on a great restart from these two. Coming to the line, it'll be 25 laps to go. Josh Sisk with the lead. Leach second, DW third, but Justin Johnson jumping on the line here. Took a look to the outside on Derek Welch. Now down to the bottom of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. That's opened the door for Larry Dickerson on the top. The 69 truck on the outside with Chris Goins on the bottom, but Goins now tucks in behind. Goins running in 6th after being involved in an incident earlier on, but not willing to give up. Derek Welch now looking to the outside of Connor Leach through the dogleg. Gets there. Dickerson swaps. No, stays in behind the 1. Top side. 4 trucks in a row here trying to make it work. And look who's up into the top 10 yet again. From a lap down back to 8th. It's Albert Anderson in the number 99. Connor Leach swapping lanes, looks to the bottom of the racetrack, gets a little bit low in the middle of the corner, slips up a bit, keeps his foot on the throttle, but Derek Welch trying to work the outside with Larry Dickerson and Chris Goins. Dickerson pushing the 1 through the dogleg, contact all the way through. Bottom seems to be the place to be right now. That's what's been working best for the 6 and the 71 as they work down the back straightaway. Leach taking a peek to the inside. I don't know if that was really looking for position or trying to get some fresh air into that engine. Justin Johnson now approaching. He's right to the back bumper of Connor Leach as they work into turn number 3. Top 10 trucks. You throw a blanket over them here off of turn number 4. Coming to 20 laps to go. Sisk in command. Dominant so far. No one's been able to do anything with him at this point, but right now he still has a teammate in the 2nd spot. You know, Leach isn't going to step out and make the move just yet. As we get near the end of this thing, he might. Very reminiscent to what we saw earlier in the race when the roles were reversed. The 71 had the lead in 6. Oh, they're in the wall. Now they're crashing. They were trying to get by a lap truck at the bottom of the racetrack. I think it was Double O Joe, and now we got trouble. Oh, big-time impact for Albert Anderson.
All on you. You make the call
19 to go in our 9th caution of the night, and it's a big one here off turn 4 with many of the leaders involved. Jesse Redding limping it to pit lane. That truck looks like it's been bent in half. Now let's try and unpack this. This all started with a slow truck. I think it was Joe Bennett. Yeah, Bennett was a lap truck or about to be a lap truck. Went from the top to the bottom here, and you see the closing rate of the field here. They're going to get there in a hurry. I think Joe tries to get to the apron here. But without the banking to assist, he's just going to slide back up. It's hard to get back up there, or at least back down. It forces the six to go high. Connor Leach goes with him, but then Welch ends up going up the racetrack. He gets the fence. And then further back, I want to look at this a little bit more here because I don't see any contact that initiated it based on the slow truck of Joe Bennett. In fact, it was two separate incidents. Let's watch Chris Goins here. Watch the 50. Sorry, the 05. PJ Cox just slips up a bit, gets into Chris Goins. Now, Redding's going to get in here. So is the 9. '72 gets right in the driver's door of Albert Anderson. Anderson goes up the track. Hard impact to the safer barrier. Defecation has hit the oscillation. Base truck lights are out. We're going to try it again here. It'll be 16 to go when we get back green. So it leaves us 15 trucks still on the lead lap out of the 44 that took the green. Base truck is in.
Green flag. The line, Sisk and Leach still 1-2. Derek Welch running in third. Justin Johnson slips up the track just a bit. Take a look now. He looks to the inside of Derek Welch out of turn number 2. Question remains now, and the caution is out again. But I'll leave this one on you. If you want to stay out, we'll stay out.
Scott Milner involved in this one. So is Jesse Redding. See the 21 of Jesse Redding on the bottom of the racetrack. This is off turn 2. Jesse just comes back up, doesn't realize Milner's there, I'm thinking. They make contact, come together. 2-truck incident here off turn number 2. With that, we're going to step aside yet again here, get a break out of the way. We'll be back, hopefully with the conclusion after this. Stay with us.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Signal I need to cut across 8 lane. None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody
Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, going to be 11 laps to go as we wrap up caution number 10. We do have Chris Goins up in the broadcast booth. Chris, a participant here tonight, and they've waved off the restart, trying to get everybody caught back up. Chris, walk us through your race and ultimately what's put you out of this one.
Hey, Steve. Well, it started very, very, very far back. I, for some reason, was super slow in qualifying, couldn't maintain it, started 32nd. There at the... I was going to ride in the back there for a while, but, kind of decided I wanted to work my way up a little bit. So I moved to the high side and made up some ground. And I think I was up to maybe 11th or so before the first caution and just got a speeding penalty in that first caution. So went back to 36th, then came back up, was back up into like 11th or so and just kind of hovered around there, involved in an accident early, fixed that damage. And then, as you guys just saw, just got killed by, well, in all honesty, it was nonsense for me. But
well, you're sitting 23rd right now. Any chance you get back out there, or are you done for the night?
Nope. Said too much damage. We are done. So.
Chris, thanks for talking to us. You can stick around here if you want, or if you'd like to jump out. So we appreciate you checking in.
No problem, Steve. I'll, if you don't mind, I'll sit here and watch the rest of it with you. I'll stay quiet though.
Fair enough. So they waved off the restart here. Now we're on the one to go a second time. And as it's been for the better part of this race, it's going to be Sisk and Leach on the front row. Then Derek Welch, Justin Johnson, PJ Cox, Carson Rowland, Tommy Welch, Ryan Kemper, Russ Endicott, Larry Dickerson. That's the top 10. A lot of LSR names in this group at the front of the field. Good to see these guys out here. So I want to keep a close eye on this. We've seen this a couple of times on the restarts where the front row kind of gets a rolling start and then checks up, and it kind of accordions the rest of the field. We saw one caution because of that. See if it happens again. Pace truck is in.
Green flag, green
and
flag.
Green back in the air. Sisk gets out. Leach will tuck back in. It's the master plan. They've done this about 6 or 7 times now. Gets out to about a 4-truck length advantage over Derek Welch and Justin Johnson. Justin tucks back in behind DW here. They're going to have to draft up on the top 2. 10 laps to go. Welch steps out of line just for a moment. I don't know if it was a handling issue or an attempt to look around Connor Leach, but no one to go with the one right now. Single file, everybody on the bottom line. The question really remains here, can anybody do anything with these top two? They are teammates. They've been working together all night long. Earlier it was Leach leading with Sisk pushing. Now the role has flipped. The question remains is, will either of these drivers really fight the other for this win, or will Leach just kind of be a good teammate and stay in line? Welch is there now to the back bumper of Connor Leach, but he's going to have to get clear of both of these guys if he wants to even contend for the win. Still single file and getting doubled up behind them. It's the 9 and the 05, Tommy Welch and PJ Cox. Going to need to get something together on the top lane. We're talking to Chris in this break. Top side would go. You just got to get the numbers and you got to get bumper to bumper to bumper. We talked about that early in the broadcast. You've got to be right on that guy. I know it's dangerous, it's scary, but it's the only way that lane's going to move. Coming to 5 laps to go. It's Sisk and Leach, the top two, then DW, then Justin Johnson, PJ Cox, the top 5. Top lane starting to work with Justin Johnson and PJ Cox. Do they have the numbers? 69 of Larry Dickerson in the mix as well. Four laps to go. You see Leach tucked right to the back bumper of Josh Sisk through the dog leg. He's done that just about every lap he's had the opportunity to do so. 3 wide behind him. Dickerson in the middle, PJ Cox up top, and then Idea Carson rolling on the bottom. Carson got down on the flat of the racetrack, slid up just a bit, and they continue to drive now side by side. Dickerson now top of the racetrack. PJ Cox tucks in behind the 69 machine. Front 2 still the same, front 3 still the same, but now Tommy Welch up into the 4th spot in front of Justin Johnson. Dickerson alongside the 10 through turns 1 and 2. Johnson up the racetrack. PJ Cox up the track too. Arrow push for the 05. He gets the wall, but he keeps his foot in it. Coming to the stripe, 2 laps to go for Josh Sisk. When does Connor Leach make his move? Does he make his move? Maybe he waited too long because Derek Welch is looking to the outside. Larry Dickerson pushing the 1 through turns 1 and 2, but is it going to be enough? Not enough help there. Justin Johnson needs to get closed up. Leach pushing Josh Sisk with all he's got through turn number 4. Coming to the stripe. White flag in the air. Final lap from Atlanta Motor Speedway. A little bit of contact. Welch gets into Leach. Looking for second. Has second for now, but slips a little bit in the middle of 1 and 2. Dickerson pushing Derek Welch through turn number 4. Welch has got the hammer down, but will it be enough? Final lap. Half a lap away. Josh Sisk with the lead down the backstretch into turn number 3. Will he lead it at the stripe? Final time off turn 4. The 6 machine dominant, and the 9 gets turned at the stripe. It's going to be Josh Sisk. DW finishes second, and Connor Leach will take third. Josh Sisk taking the win here at Atlanta. Sisk Speed Shop with a plan, stuck to it. Team win for Sisk Speed Shop, first and third for Josh Sisk and Connor Leach. Derek Welch, the spoiler, finishing out second place. Sisk going to go an extra lap here. Sisk celebrates here on the front stretch. I don't know why we got 4 trucks celebrating here on the front stretch, but either way, more the merrier, I guess. With that, we'll step aside. We'll get a break out of the way. We'll be back with our top 3 finishers after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Josh Sisk. Still can't say it right. Josh Sisk with the race win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll pull the driver of the number 6 into the broadcast booth and get a word with our race winner. Josh, it's Steve up at Track Limits broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
We're doing good, Josh. Congratulations on the win here tonight. It seemed like you and teammate Connor Leach had a plan, and you stuck to it. We watched Connor lead some laps early on. You stuck with him on the back bumper in the early stages, and then things kind of flip-flopped. You ended up with the lead, and he hung with you. You guys had those restarts timed to a T. What was the key there? Were you guys restarting in first gear?
We were restarting in first gear, and I talked to him one-on-one before the season started last week, and I told him I'm all about the team wins here. My name's on every truck, so I don't care which one of them wins, and I let him know that if we're 1-2, I'm sticking with you, and I won't make a move because I'm here to make sure my trucks finish the best they can.
Well, plan of attack and stuck with the plan, and it paid off. Almost a 1-2. You get first and third instead. Derek Welch nipped Connor there at the very end. But walk us through the closing laps of this thing. It got a little chaotic, a lot of cautions there at the end. But one final restart. What was the plan of attack? Was it just kind of sticking with the way things were, the way you were doing those restarts for the entire race?
Yeah, we didn't want to change anything. It was working. Being the leader and controlling restarts in iRacing is huge. Totally different than real life. You can't hear the motor start to stumble or turn over or pick up, what term you want to use there. So the element of surprise is just massive. So it didn't want to change anything. We had already said that we were going to run it till it was dry, and if the cautions flew, we'd save fuel and make it. And my thought process to that mentality was getting to the end. The pace is going to pick up. The intensity is going to pick up. There probably will be yellows. And better to be in control of the race and save than restart 10th with enough fuel and potentially be in the wreck and not have time to get back up to the front. So strategy call worked out tonight. You know, those sometimes they go the other way and you just come up a lap short, but thankfully we didn't tonight.
Keeping the fenders on the truck and surviving is the first part of the game, and then winning it is the second part. You got them both done here tonight. Congratulations, Josh. Next week, we look forward to the road course, Circuit of the Americas, and I think we're running the COTA West layout, like the Cup cars are going to run here coming up pretty soon. What's your thoughts about maybe picking up a win on the road course next week?
First, I owe Connor a huge thanks to getting me this win tonight, but I am not as good at road courses in a stock car or a GT3 as Connor is, so I'll have to do some serious work just to be able to see him making some laps at some point. And I'm sure there are some other folks in this field that are better than me, so we just try to keep the fenders on it and stay in the top 5, top 10, somewhere in there, collect some decent points. We got wrecked really early due to somebody made a little accident at Daytona. We got 0 points, so we got a big hole to climb out of. Tonight's a good start, but next week, hopefully, we can maintain some momentum, and I'm excited. I don't know about you, but I like the West layout. I think it'll be better than the full layout.
Well, you know how I feel about road courses in general. I'm excited regardless of what layout we're on, so it should be fun.
Yes, sir, 100%.
Josh, congrats again, man. Anybody else you want to shout out to before I kick you out of here?
Yeah, just how about Skylar Hare, 10 minutes of damage, stuck with it, drove all the way back into the 20s from 44th. Huge. Thanks to Nick Biddy Designs, Nick, Joe, Connor, myself, Skyler, the secondary team with Carson Rowland, Jonathan Marsh, Aikman Pollard. We've got a bunch of guys in here. It's a lot of fun. Derek Welch for bringing this back to life, and you for putting it on, man. It's going to be a good week and a good year. Thanks to Beadle Custom Car Carriers for coming on, man. That's awesome that we got a headline sponsor. So just a lot of good people, a lot of fun. Hopefully we can stretch them out and make a little longer green flag runs next time.
All right, Josh. Congrats again. Thanks for chatting with us. Good luck next week.
Yes, sir. Have a great night.
Josh Sisk, your race winner here at Atlanta. Next, we're going to talk to the runner-up, the driver of the number 1 Old DW, Derek Welch. Sticking with it, put it on pole, finishes second. Derek, it's Steve in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Derek, congrats, man. A crazy race, as we kind of expected it would be here at Atlanta Motor Speedway on the new layout. Walk us through your race. For starters, I know you put the truck on pole position, but you dropped back at the very beginning. Was there a penalty that we missed, or was that by choice on your part?
Well, being honored to lead, I don't want to take charge. So, I got the first wreck of the season in the first race, so I had to give myself an EOL, give everybody an example, So, I got an EOL penalty. I caused the first wreck of the season, so I had to race my way up to the front. And I'm probably going to have another EOL for next week, because I think I may have caused another wreck. I don't know. I have to go back and look at it, but I'm sorry for whoever I wrecked on that. If I did wreck somebody on that, I've been fighting my steering wheel all night. I tried a 14-to-1 ratio on my steering wheel, and that was a big mistake. I'm not used to going above 12, and I was fighting the truck all night, but I'm happy with the second.
Well, we look forward to next week at Circuit of the Americas. I know you've put in some serious effort in the last year or so on improving your road course skills. You picked up a win over in VRL recently. That was at the Glen, but COTA West next on tap for NTRL. What are your thoughts about maybe getting a win next week?
I probably won't get the win, but especially if I'm going to start with a EOL, I'm definitely not going to get the win. But I'm going to try to keep my car clean and just try to get a top 15 at best. And I put in a lot of time this weekend with Millet, and I brought my time down pretty well, and I think I brought it down 5 seconds per lap time. After I got done with Millet, he's amazing. He's a great teacher of these road courses, and I feel comfortable getting up to the top 15 if I had to stop at the start of the rear of the field. But if we start everybody shows up at a race, which I don't think they will. You know how people don't like road courses, but 44 cars, whew, that's gonna be a tall task to climb, a tall mountain to climb out there.
Turn one will be interesting, that's for sure. Derek, congrats on the runner-up finish here at Atlanta. Who do you want to thank before I let you go?
My team, Larry pushed me up to the front there. I was waiting for him to go out to the top line to make a run at it, try to get the win, and he got taken out right at a turn 4. But thanks to him for giving me a shot to win. Thanks to all my teammates. We had a good points tonight. Russell finished 7th. I think that's the best finish he's ever did at NTRL. So thanks for all my teammates, Albert, Dylan, all the drivers here at NTRL. This wouldn't be a lead without all of them. And man, I don't think we've ever had big fields like this. I know we had big fields, but 44 trucks, man, it's insane out here. And it was hell out here on the track. You know, a lot of new drivers with a lot of old drivers here, and trying to figure out everybody's how they race, and it's gonna be hectic the first few races of the season. We was expecting that, but it's going all right, I guess.
So away it goes. You guys put on a good show. Got a little chaotic, but as to be expected at a place like Atlanta Motor Speedway on that new scan. It's kind of what we expect to see at these places. So, again, congratulations, Derek. Nice job on the runner-up finish. Good luck next week at COTA. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you, sir.
It's Derek Welch, your runner-up here at Atlanta. Next, we're going to talk to the 71 of Connor Leach. Thought it was going to be a 1-2 finish for Sisk Speed Shop, but unfortunately, Connor Leach comes home in that 3rd spot instead of 2nd. Connor, it's Steve in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
Connor, congratulations, man. A job well done. You led a lot of laps early on off the nose of Josh Sisk there for a while. Things switched up through some pit strategy. He ended up out in front of you there at the very end. And a team win nonetheless, but you finished 3rd here. Walk us through the closing laps of this thing. How did DW get around?
You know, like he was talking to me earlier there. He said he was kind of waiting. He didn't, you know, me and Josh or Caleb in the 6th there, we were getting good starts, and I was always able to get behind him, which was fantastic. I'd rather be behind him than trying to battle side by side and sort of try to control it from the front. But yeah, he was waiting, and it wasn't until I think there was a bit of a charge on the outside with Justin Johnson, and then finally he picked the right moment and went for it. But I'm happy regardless. 3rd is fine with me as long as we can get one of these Sisk Speed Shop trucks into victory lane. That's a big win for the team. Yeah, it was a fun race. It was good. A lot of cautions at the end there, though. You know, it helped us with fuel strategy. I'm sure Derek and Caleb both said we're pretty low. You know, we weren't going to make it unless we had all those cautions, and thankfully we did.
We made it to the end nonetheless, putting a Sisk Speed Shop truck in victory lane here at Atlanta. You're targeting for next week to do the same at Circuit of the Americas. I know you like running those road courses. You perform pretty well there typically. How do you feel about your chances next week? I know guys like Brian McCann and Derek Welch are going to be hard to guard there next week.
Well, since some of these guys keep telling me, especially Caleb, he was talking about it just earlier there. I don't know. I guess I might do all right there. We'll see. I mean, who knows? I could end up in the kitty litter early on, but hopefully not. I'm hoping we'll have a good run there, and you know, we can have a similar result to tonight. Get a couple trucks up on victory lane.
Well, Connor, congratulations. Strong run tonight. 3rd place finish. Who do you want to thank?
Oh, obviously, you know, Nick Biddy Designs for wrapping these trucks. Caleb, Sisk, the Sisk Speed Shop. We got 4 of us. I think we're missing a couple of the teammates tonight, but we still made do. Or it's 5 of us, I guess. Yeah, 5 of us. We're missing a couple of the teammates tonight, but we made do. You know, Skyler, he was many laps, lots of damage on that truck, but he came home pretty good. Them, and then you know, Derek for putting the show or putting the league on, and then obviously you, Track Limits Network, for putting on the good show, and you always do a good job with it. It's fun to watch again after the race.
Well, Connor, thanks for the kind words, man. Congratulations on 3rd place, and certainly good luck next week at COTA.
Sounds good. Thank you. We'll see you then.
It's Connor Leach, your third place finisher here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. That's going to do it for the interview portion of tonight's broadcast. So let's take a look at our race results. Of course, we talked to Josh Sisk, Derek Welch, Connor Leach. That was the top three. Then it was Justin Johnson. Fifth place was Carson Rowland. PJ Cox was sixth. Seventh place, Russ Endicott. Ryan Kemper, eighth. Ninth was Larry Dickerson. Eddie Rose with a top 10. Solid run by the 88. Paul Ferdiani was 11th. Vincent Short, 12th. 13th, Mike Corvu. Tommy Welch was 14th. Mark Truxell, 15th. Rick LePage finished in the 16th spot. 17th went to Brian McCann. 18th place finisher was Skylar Herod. Double O Joe Bennett, 19th. 20th, Ben McKinnon. 21st, Jesse Redding. John Luke Wilkie was 22nd. Paul Durkee was 23rd. Ryan Pasoko was 24th. Ken Couch, 25th. 26th finisher was Albert Anderson. Jason Steptoe, 27th. Chris Goins in the 4, 28th. 29th was Jonathan Marsh. Scott Miller, 30th. 31st, Drew Blaze. 32nd, Mark Collins. Dylan Bryant, 33rd. 34th, Brandon Coleman. Mike Fahey, 35th. 36th was Crystal Villano. Justin Lawson, 37th. Sean Roberts, 38th. 39th, Chris Klein. 40th, Tom Barish. Eric Beadle, 41st. Jarrett Woodard, 42nd. Chuck Kiger, 43rd. And last but not least, 127 laps down, the 25 and 44th, Aikman Pollard. It's your race results here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. That's going to wrap it up for us here at Track Limits. I want to thank you guys certainly for joining the race here tonight and watching the broadcast, hitting the like button, and certainly the subscribe button. We just pushed ourselves to that 1,000 subscriber mark. I don't know what it does for us, if anything, but it's just a little sense of pride, and I do appreciate you guys helping us get there each and every week, showing up, watching the broadcast, sharing it with your friends. It makes a difference. Every little thing that you do, clicking that thumbs up, it's a bonus across the board. Keep on doing it, and we'll see you guys next week. Week from tonight here on Track Limits at Circuit of the Americas. Thanks for watching, everybody.